Do you ever wonder why some people seem to effortlessly accumulate wealth and enjoy financial freedom while others struggle to make ends meet? It all comes down to the habits you cultivate. I'm sure you've met someone who has told you how badly they're doing at work, how little they're paid in their company, and how badly they're treated. They don't raise my salary, they don't give me vacations, and they don't give me training. Have you noticed what all those phrases have in common? They indicate that the person wants to portray himself as a helpless victim unable to change his situation, or is that what they believe? In reality, these types of people are only victims of their own negative mindset. That is why they fail. In this video, I will reveal 8 habits you must avoid to have a winning mindset. Become wealthy and achieve financial freedom. Subscribe to the channel and let's get started. Just think about this. Steve Jobs revolutionized the concept of a mobile phone by introducing the idea of a smartphone. As a matter of fact, Steve Jobs once said, "I didn't believe that a phone should only function as a simple phone. I thought it could work as a computer camera and music player, and so the iPhone was born." On the other hand, Jack Ma, founder of Alibaba, stated in an interview that the worst people you can serve are those with a poor mentality. Give them something for free and they think it's a trap. Tell them it's a small investment and they will say that they don't earn much. Invite them to invest in something larger and they will say that they don't have the money. Invite them to try new things and they will tell you that they don't know how to do it. Invite them to a traditional business and they will say it's difficult to do. Tell them it's a new business model and they will say it's a scam. Tell them to run a store and they will say there's no freedom. Tell them to start a new business and they will say they have no experience. However, these types of people have a few things in common. They love asking questions, exploring and listening to friends who are just as desperate as they are. In fact, they think more than a philosopher, but they move less than a blind man guiding another blind man. All you have to do is ask them, "What do you want to do?" and they will never be able to answer. This common behavior is what causes them to fail. They have spent their whole life waiting and waiting. The losing mentality is nothing more than the consequence of bad habits that they have developed. Over time, mental barriers prevent them from achieving success. All of us humans have good and bad habits. It can sometimes be difficult to differentiate between the two in terms of human behavior and psychology. A mental barrier is a form of self-limiting behavior that prevents people from being successful at something. One example of a mental barrier is when someone goes to take a test without preparation. This type of self-limiting behavior prevents the person from achieving success and gives them anxiety in the event of failure. Along with this, it can also be difficult for others to help with the task due to their lack of motivation and desire for change. However, we can call bad habits those that keep us away from the life we want to live and those that prevent us from achieving financial success, such as stealing ideas and creativity. The first habit you must avoid to become wealthy and achieve financial freedom is the bad habit of wasting time complaining. Regret is a feeling of remorse that cannot be changed, much like the effect of a dog bite on an unyielding stone. What is the point of complaining? Complaining without any meaning is a waste of time and does not bring any benefit. Instead of focusing on the problem, it is better to focus on the solution. Regret will not help. Many people regret their situation, often expressing phrases like, "I hate my job, they pay me little, I have made a mistake in my professional career, or I am a failure." But when asked what they have done to change their situation, the answer is always the same: nothing. People with a winning mentality focus on solutions instead of problems. They learn and ask themselves useful questions such as, how can I turn this situation around? What can I learn? How to prevent it from happening to me again? Asking yourself these questions is more productive than constantly complaining. As an example, there is the story of Louis Vuitton, a homeless teenager in mid-19th century Paris who was determined to change his fate. Instead of complaining, he took advantage of his circumstances and learned the art of trunk making. He soon gained a reputation for his exceptional work and his business grew rapidly. Vuitton's designs were so innovative that he became a favorite of the French aristocracy. Today, his brand is one of the most iconic in the world, a testament to the power of hard work and the ability to turn adversity into success. By the way, if you would like a detailed video about Louis Vuitton and the problems he faced, including wars, betrayal, and other unexpected challenges to build wealth, comment the word video so I know. With that being said, the next habit you must avoid to become wealthy is blaming others. We are responsible for our own lives and must stop thinking that others are responsible for our failures. Interestingly, our selfish point of view tells us that if we fail, it is the fault of others, but if we succeed, it is due to our own merit. Think about it this way. Does blaming others make you a better person? It's difficult to focus on how to improve your life if you're busy blaming others and shirking the responsibility that falls on you. Focus on what you can really do, achieve, and undertake. Stop seeing the world from the perspective that it is impossible because of this or that others may influence your life, but you are the one who creates it. Just as the wind influences the sails of a ship, but the ship is the one who defines the course to take even against the wind. Many professionals are terrified of change. They either hate their jobs or are simply bored. But don't change for fear. The key is to calculate the potential benefit against the risk you take. If the benefits outweigh the risks, then it is worth it. When making an important decision, ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? You will often find that the consequences are not as serious as you thought. People who have a winning mentality do not fear change, rather they embrace it, knowing that it brings opportunities. Moving on to the next habit to avoid to become wealthy and achieve financial freedom is the bad habit of procrastination or leaving everything for later. The ostrich strategy of not facing a problem and hoping it will magically disappear is not recommended, as reflected in many old adages. A similar strategy is to avoid the topic or ignore the problem. This old adage probably doesn't make sense to you, however, there is one that makes sense. Don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today. While procrastination can be tempting, it doesn't do you any good in the long run. Therefore, it's best to take prompt action when you know something needs to get done. Ignoring the situation or delaying important decisions is not a good idea and can lead to terrible consequences. Procrastination can be a dangerous habit that can derail your life. When we put off tasks until tomorrow, we're not only limiting our potential, but also hindering our growth in the long run. We must take responsibility for our lives today and stop making excuses. Doing so will help us make progress and live a more fulfilling life. So don't let cowardice cloud your vision and take responsibility for your life today. Now, if you are wondering if it is possible to overcome procrastination, the answer is yes. One famous person who overcame procrastination and achieved great financial success is Chris Gardner, the entrepreneur and author of the book The Pursuit of Happiness. Gardner was once homeless and struggled with procrastination, but he made a conscious decision to stop putting things off and take action towards his goals. He went on to start his own brokerage firm and became a multimillionaire. Gardner's story is a testament to the power of perseverance and the importance of breaking free from the habit of procrastination. The next habit you must avoid to become wealthy is don't wait for the perfect moment. This bad habit can prevent you from experiencing financial stability and wealth building. Instead, take calculated risks and make the most of your opportunities when they arise. Waiting for the perfect moment could lead to missed opportunities. At the same time, waiting for ideal conditions is like wanting all the traffic lights in the city to turn green. Eventually you will have to stop, and you may have to go back or take alternative paths. It is obvious, right? But if you take action immediately, you will arrive much faster, learn more than you thought, and finally achieve your goal. Do not be afraid to start right now and let fear not dominate you. Don't wait for the ideal time to take action. You don't necessarily have to fulfill all the necessary conditions for it. Make those circumstances yourself, or else you may remain in a situation far from what you desire and will never move forward. Don't sit and wait for someone to bring you to your desired destination. Craft your own destiny by creating your own ship and setting sail on a journey of accomplishment. The next habit I have for you to avoid when it comes to becoming wealthy and achieving financial freedom is the bad habit of envying others' success, since this bad habit is like taking poison and waiting for someone else to die. When we see someone who is successful, it is difficult not to feel a little envious. We see someone who is in a place we would like to be. However, envy is nothing more than poison for your brain, as it causes you to focus on what others have achieved instead of what you can achieve. Focus on your own goals instead of those of others. The next habit you must avoid to become wealthy is the bad habit of thinking that the world owes you everything. Our society tends to prioritize our rights over our Responsibilities leaving us ill-prepared for the future. While having certain rights is important, it's also essential to emphasize the responsibilities that come with them. We live in a society that is raising us poorly. We are used to claiming that we have rights to everything. I have the right to a decent home, a decent job, health, education, and the freedom to express myself. Rights and more rights. We often think that society owes us something, but the question is, what have we done to improve it? We have rights, but these rights come with obligations. Do you want a house? Work for it. Do you want a job? Prepare for it. Do you want access to healthcare? Pay your social security. Do you want freedom of expression? Respect others and strive to make the world a better place. The world owes you nothing, but by doing so you will gain something in return. Moving on to the next habit to avoid in order to become wealthy and achieve financial freedom is the bad habit of acting on impulse. Our natural instincts are usually not reliable and can lead to impulsive decisions. However, it's important to be mindful of the consequences that could happen if we act without thinking about it before making a decision that you may regret. Pause and reflect on all of the potential outcomes before following your initial impulse. Becoming a smarter person requires you to think before you act. Before making any decisions, take a moment to reflect on whether it is the right choice or not. Impulsive decisions often result in consequences that cause great regret and sorrow. We often act on impulse, influenced by intense emotions such as anger or euphoria. This can be a one-way ticket to making bad decisions. By developing good habits and having the right mindset, we can ensure that our choices are based on sound judgment. For a successful mindset, it is essential to get rid of the habits which are associated with those who fail. This includes having rational thoughts and making decisions after carefully evaluating the available options. Fortunately, these traits can be done away with pretty easily today. I discussed 8 habits to avoid in order to become wealthy and achieve financial freedom. I recommend making a list of the bad habits you have identified and gradually leaving them aside one at a time so that the adaptation process is easier. You will see the wonderful results that you can achieve. Now, if you want to know habits that will change your personal finances forever, I recommend you watch this video next. Do not hesitate to share this video with friends, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts on today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.